Good morning, everyone. So, I'm Steve Teutsch, and as chair of this committee, I wanted to welcome all of you to be here. As you know, this is the Committee on Accelerating Progress to Reduce Alcohol-Impaired Driving Fatalities. And in case any of you don't know where you are, this is here at the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. And the project we're working on is sponsored by NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. And of course, we're very grateful for their support. Um, Here at the table with me are most of the committee members. There are a couple, and I'll have them introduce themselves in a moment. Several of our members are on the phone. That's Julie Baldwin, Linda DeGutis, and David Jernigan. So they're going to be listening in, and Ricardo Martinez will be joining us shortly. This is an open on the record session, and so that obviously there are people around the room who have decided they want to sit in, and it's being webcast so that we have people remotely listening in as well. This is an information gathering session. The committee itself is at the very early stages of its process in assembling materials that it needs to examine and discuss in the course of making findings, conclusions, and recommendations. So please be aware that the committee, as of now, hasn't really come to any conclusions, and it would be a mistake for any of you to leave here today thinking that we've done so. And in fact, the comments and questions that the committee members will be making are intended to probe some of these issues and don't necessarily reflect either their own personal views or any of the discussions that we've had in the committee. We hope to complete our work and release the report in the winter of 2017. We have several meetings ahead of us to continue our discussions and draft the report. And once the report is drafted, it goes through a rigorous review process that is unique here to the National Academies. And that's usually begins as an anonymous process, and then we have to respond with appropriate revisions to satisfy the report review committee here at the National Academies until the report is considered to be official. This is the second meeting of the committee. And in addition to presentations, we are in the process of reviewing information relevant to our charge and to gather additional information, and we'll continue to do that over the course of the study. So today we have a number of speakers, and we're grateful to you for being here. And after each presentation, we will have a question and answer period, primarily focusing on clarification of the information that's presented, and that will be primarily queries from the committee members. But if time allows, we'll open it to discussion from the floor. We'll have a time at the end of the day for public comment, and audience and members and webcast viewers will be able to make brief comments. Just for the record, speakers are asked to disclose any of their funding that's related to the topics being discussed today, and that could be from private sources, government agencies, foundations, etc. For more information about the study, you can visit our project website, and that information on that is available in your attendee packets. If you have any questions about logistics or any of those types of things, we have staff around the table and around the room so that you can, and they're available to answer your queries. The meeting is being webcast, as I said, and recorded. And at the end of the meeting, speaker presentations and videos will be posted to the project website. That usually takes a week or two after the meeting. So let's, as I indicated, a number of our committee members are listening in, and Dren Tomke, who's on the committee, isn't able to be at this meeting. But let's go around the room quickly and just let the committee members introduce themselves with your names and affiliations. So why don't we start over here with Jeff with you.
Hello, I'm Jeff Niederdeppy, and I'm an associate professor at Cornell University.
Charles O'Brien. I'm a professor at the University of Pennsylvania Medical School, and my experience and research involves people with an alcohol use disorder, as opposed to many of the people who are quoting studies of normal drinkers, however that's defined.
Hi, I'm Kit Delgado. I'm an assistant professor of emergency medicine and a practicing trauma center ER doctor, and also assistant professor of epidemiology at the University of Pennsylvania. My work focuses on the treatment of injured patients as well as preventing injuries in the first place through the use of novel technologies.
I'm Doug Wiebe. I'm associate professor of epidemiology, also in the School of Medicine at the University of Pennsylvania, and I direct the CDC-funded Penn Injury Science Center.
And my name's Jody Sindelar. I'm a professor, health economist at Yale University.
I'm Catherine Keyes. I'm an associate professor of epidemiology at Columbia University, and my research focuses on alcohol and drug use, primarily among adolescents.
Tim Namey. I'm an internist and pediatrician at Boston Medical Center and an associate professor at the BU Schools of Medicine and Public Health, and I work on the effects of alcohol control policies and alcohol epidemiology, including binge drinking.
Great, thanks all. There are more extensive bios on the committee members and also of each of the speakers in your packet. So I'm not going to be introducing people at any great length, but you can get additional information there. So I'd like to introduce our first panel, which is on policies and systems change. We're going to hear first from Steve Schmidt, who's Senior Vice President of Public Policy and Communications at the National Alcohol Beverage Control Association. Then we'll hear from Frank Harris, who's the State Legislative Director at Mothers Against Drunk Driving. And finally, we'll hear from Ann, I'm not sure I'm going to get your name right, Tejan or Tijan?
She's actually participating remotely. So she's
Tegan, sorry, program principal at the National Conference of State Legislatures, who will be presenting remotely. And we'll hold question and answers until all three have had a chance to present. So let me turn it over to you. Thanks for